What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. Man, let me know if the sound is okay. As you come in the room, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And please consider contributing to the stream. We got mouths to feed over here, y'all. We got mouths to feed. But definitely do what you can to support Black media. As a matter of fact, the content that you are about to enjoy is only possible because of Black media. People like myself, Jason Whitlock, Anton Daniels, even though they say they don't really pay attention to race and all that stuff, they are truly elements within the Black media space. And just like Roland Martin is constantly reminding you, it takes money to run media channels and media spaces. So if you notice, we have a goal set, $10 super chats within the next hour. Let's get it done. Also, there's Cash App, PayPal, pinned to the top of the comment section if you feel inclined to contribute. Okay, listen, I gotta be at like No Jumper later, right? I'm gonna be on there later. Go check that out. But this was so big and so important to me, I just had to go live on it. And what I want you to do, we're not going to be here long, maybe like an hour. I want you to pay attention very closely to what's going to be said today, because right now this is the hero content. This is where where a message will be given, a message will be analyzed, a message will be delivered, and you definitely need to hear it. So Anton Daniels lit the morning on fire. He basically canceled his show, and instead of him doing his show, he was a guest on Fearless with Jason Whitlock. Shout out to Hazy Vision. Man, they were discussing something called Black fatigue. Don't forget to put the ones in if the sound is good. They were discussing something called Black fatigue. Now, this is a relatively new term, but it is something that has been felt for decades. Black fatigue is basically this idea that other groups of people, other races of people, and Black people, people within the Black group society, are getting absolutely tired of dealing with certain elements of the Black community. We tend to call these people niggas, right? As you know, there's a difference between Black people and niggas. I'm just going to say that. Instantly demonetized, message needs to be delivered. There's a difference between Black people and niggas. The term nigga means stupid person. And within the Black community, there are a lot of stupid people. People who act recklessly ignorant. People who are hopelessly selfish and radically individual minded. All they think about is themselves, how they feel, what they want to do, how they believe things should be, and they totally disregard other people's feelings. And America, in my opinion, is basically tired of it. For a long time, we were able to hide behind this idea of like white versus Black. All the white people are racist. They just want to hold the Black man down. And that worked well 50 years ago. But there's a problem that arose. Other groups of people started coming into America. Many of those people Black, from Africa and other Black societies, Caribbean and stuff. And they came into America. They worked really hard. They became really successful. And those people being able to gain success in America who share the same skin color as us, them becoming successful exposed something. It exposed Black America because people begin to reason, well, if America is so racist and white people hate you so much, why is it that people who share the same exact skin color as you, people who can barely speak English, why is it that they can enter into your same society where you're saying everything is dictated by race and become incredibly successful, and you guys are not able to gain the same level of success? I mean, you are, but you say or claim that you can't because of the color of your skin. So then Black people moved over to they're given special privileges. They're given special treatment. We started our excuse making, right? But the internet is undefeated, family. The internet is undefeated, family. We have been given an unprecedented access to information by way of the internet. So now people, for the first time ever, can be made aware and see in real time the way Black people behave on a daily basis. What do they see? They see there's a lot of good, hardworking people, good, hardworking Black folk, the type of Black folks that built America. But then they see that there's this degenerate element amongst Black folks that behave like absolute savages, animals. And you know what the problem with that scenario or that situation is? They've learned the hardworking Black people, they defend the degenerate element within their community, even if that degenerate element preys on them and their children. You have, and this is another thing that's exposed, that the Black people who are successful and have sense and work hard, even we separate ourselves from that degenerate element within Black society. So now other groups of people, other races, for lack of a better term, other groups of people are saying, wait a minute. You've been telling us we got to tolerate these people because these people are generationally impacted by slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, and the crack epidemic and all this mess, right? But even you are trying to get away from those people. You defend them with your lips, with your mouth, but you don't even want to live among them. So the jig is up. They're realizing this degenerate element is not degenerate because anything that happened to them in the past or happened to their ancestors in the past. This degenerate element is degenerate because they have been coddled and enabled for decades. Coddled, enabled, and defended for decades by the hardworking element of the Black community, the Black folks. So now they are meeting fire with fire. You see the lady who called the little kid the N-word in the park? You see people like Nick Fuentes, the other racist, Richard Spencer. These people are gaining traction. People like Myron Gaines, they're gaining an audience now because now the things that these people have been saying for decades, they're beginning to resonate as other groups of people are now have gained the ability to observe Black behavior in real time. Now the white guy in Whitefield, Maine can look at what black people are doing in New Orleans, Louisiana. He can observe it for 5-10 years and say, nah, these fools, all them excuses they making, that ain't justifying this, what they doing. All the nonsense, all the reasons they're giving, it's not justifying the results that we as a society are getting. See, so now the black community has been exposed. And other groups are now experiencing black fatigue. They are tired of black people. They are tired of getting robbed, getting killed, getting their houses broken into, having to walk on eggshells around black people for fear that they might be labeled a racist. They're tired. They're working hard every day to feed their family. They're working hard every day to make a life for themselves. And they honestly no longer give a fuck what is going on with you. They only care about how what you're doing, how your degenerate behavior is affecting them. And they are standing up. They're calling it out. And I'm telling you, like I've been telling you on this channel for the past 2 years, they're about to start doing something about it. And this is what Jason Whitlock is discussing on his channel. And this is where Anton Daniels finds a sympathetic ear to his plight. And man, cooks, sears the black community to perfection. Now, there was a lot that took place before the part that I'm going to highlight. But if you want to see all that, go back and watch the pod. Go back and watch the video. This was all said in real time. This was, it was a great conversation. When I tell you this was a great conversation, this was a great conversation. And it led to like this big, like this huge, this big morning on social media where everyone's like, hey, I mean, I was getting blown up. Did you see Anton? Did you see Anton this morning? So I'm going to start. Let me see. Okay. So let me start right here where Anton talks first. It's going to be 2 parts where Anton spoke. And man, he cooked. He cooked. He absolutely cooked. Yeah, we're all tired. Nobody's more tired than black people. Nobody's more tired than black folks because I'm tired of it. You tired of it? I'm tired of it. Everyone's sick of it. Everyone is sick of it. Okay, let me get this up. Okay, here we go.
Not fixable. It's already been predicted.
A woman that doesn't want to listen to a man who has so little self-awareness and in terms of like, hey, this isn't fixable. These women have no interest in listening to a man. And so all I can do is come out from among them. And so I'm sitting here saying, well, I don't think this is normal, but I'm looking at my behavior and my behavior is acting like, no, this is normal. And this is why you've abandoned and just moved away. And you have almost no tolerance for any woman that doesn't want to listen to a man who has so little self-awareness, so little biblical understanding that she sees no value in listening to a man. I don't want to be around her. And it's very painful because all of my memories are so fond. And again, people hear me talk about the Masterpiece Lounge and Jimmy's J Bar J, the bars my father owned in the interstate, and all my memories from the 70s and 80s are so fond. But it's like all that has disappeared, and I'm looking at a very matriarchal culture and women that are out of control. And I just, Anton, you've already gone down this path a little bit. You went down this path. Like, is this curable? Is it?
Now listen. So I had to let the Jason Whitlock part play because that leads up to what Anton Daniels is about to say. And Jason Whitlock, in his old age, he's like in his 60s, right? Jason Whitlock was once one of the people who believed that the Black community was salvageable. He was one of those people who, even though he saw the degeneracy and the downhill slide of the Black community, he did what many people do. He made excuses for it. He said things like you hear the dudes, oh, we gonna be all right, and oh man, they just young, they're gonna get it together eventually. And we basically, people basically sounded like parents who have really bad children, and you try to tell them about their kid, and you say, hey man, what you're doing, the way you're allowing your kid to behave is gonna end up bad for him. And they say, oh no, he's just young, they're just kids, this type of thing, right? Just excuse making and dismissiveness, basically like you're overreacting to what's being done. But now in his old age, Jason Whitlock is realizing, he's observing his own behavior and saying, you know what? For a long time, I was saying, I was making excuses. I was saying, he was saying things like, oh, Black people are going to get it together, and it's not everywhere you go. Oh, you think all Black people are criminals? Jason Whitlock said stuff like that. But then he looked at his own behavior and he said, well, now, if it's really not as bad as they say it is, if these people are one day going to come around and listen to reason, right? Why did I move away? Why is it that I'm no longer willing to tolerate Black women if they don't want to be submissive and listen to Black men? See, if these people tell you one thing and then they do something else, you got dudes like Cam Newton who are apologists for Black ignorance. You got dudes like you name them. What's his name? Michael Eric Dyson, Rashad Ritchie. The people who run Black Lives Matter and all these type of people, they will always excuse Black ignorance and blame someone else, right? But they don't even want to live around Black people. They'll make excuses for Black people. They'll attempt to justify the behavior of Black people, but they will not even involve themselves with or interact with Black folks. D.L. Hughley, a big one. They won't even interact with Black people on a daily basis. Only time they come around Black people is if they got security. Why is that? So if these people did what Jason Whitlock did, and that's why I respect him, if they turned around and looked in the mirror and they looked at the way they behave around Black people, the way they interact with Black people, the way they avoid Black people at damn near all costs, they would understand exactly what other people see. But many of them do see it, but they don't want to say that because they make money off of pretending like they don't see it. So now Jason Whitlock asked Anton Daniels if he believes that this problem is fixable. And Anton Daniels is going to cook, but I'm going to tell you, stick around, because I'm going to go further than Anton Daniels and actually show Anton Daniels where he's wrong at. Because you might not know this, but I've actually debated Anton Daniels before on my channel. And there's the way he's thinking is good. The same thing with Kevin Samuels. The way he's thinking, he's going in the right direction, but he's getting off on the wrong exit. And I'm going to tell you the right exit after we listen to this.
Is it fixable? And if so, how do we do it?
Nope, it's not curable. It's not fixable. It's already been predicted. I think that what I tell guys, right? Because a lot of guys, they'll say to me, well, Anton, there are no more good women, or I met this woman and I'm willing to settle. The thing that I tell guys a lot of times is vet for where you're going. Young guys in particular, not the older guys. They already know that the community is cooked. But I tell them, vet for the woman, because a lot of women, for example, will say, don't date off of potential, don't make themselves available, which is also contributing to the demise of the family, because even though Western culture and white women and women in the United States of America at large have largely been rebellious, which is now a reflection of what you see happening within our culture and our communities, they do have one thing up on Black women, and that they do date based off of potential, and they do seek out their husband earlier in life. And I tell guys a lot of times to don't date down anymore. Vet for the woman that you think is going to be, or for the direction that you're going in. And the reason that I say that is because you have to pick much earlier in your life where you want to be, who you want to associate yourself with, because what's going to happen is as you approach your 30s, as you approach your 40s, it's going to be exponentially more of whatever it is that you've done in your 20s. It's going to be exponentially worse or exponentially better. And you're going to have to sort through all of the nonsense the later on in life that you decide that you want to make a decision of whether or not you want to align yourself or divest yourself from the culture, from the community, from the things that we see happening every single day. And what I've also found is that the older that people get, 25, 30, unless they suffer a great deal of harm, then they never open up their eyes to the truth of how they need to divest themselves against this thing that is completely incurable. You're never going to fix the community. You can't convince people that they need to do the thing that's best for themselves. You can't even tell people that they need to get saved. You can't tell people that they need to find God. It has to be revealed to them.
Okay, so I like Anton's message so far, where he's talking about, people are going to have a revelation themselves. They're going to have to, something's going to have to happen that is life altering for them to understand that they need to change the way that they're behaving, right? I compare it to prostitution. If you roll down a street in LA called Figueroa, you will see beautiful women, damn near naked, selling their bodies 24 hours a day. Now, the easy excuse to make is this. Some man is beating this woman up, threatening to harm her, coercing her in some way, and he's making her go out and sell her body for money. Now, get out your car and go talk to one of those women. Say, look, I'll protect you. Come to my house. I got security. I got money. I'm rich. Come with me. Leave this life behind, and I'll take care of you. I promise you. I promise you. If you get out and talk to 10 hookers on the whole stroll and make them that same offer, you're going to get one of two reactions. One, three reactions. One, they're going to say, well, if you're rich, you can put me in your car and we could go around the corner and have sex for X amount of dollars, but you got to bring me back. Two, they'll say, okay, baby, okay, daddy. They'll let you take them to the house, all that, as long as you're giving them money, right? They'll hang around with you as long as the money's flowing. But eventually, if the money stops flowing, or when their pimp starts looking for them and saying, where are you at? Or when she just gets the itch to get back out on the street and do what she does, or her drug habit starts calling her, she's going to find some way to part ways with you. Even if she's like, I'll be back, baby. She's going to find some way to part ways with you and go do what she normally does and maybe link back up with you later. Or the third one, they're going to just outright reject you and say, hell no, I'm not doing that. You must be a cop or whatever. They're not out there because they're being forced. They're out there because that's where they want to be. And if you try to remove them from that lifestyle, they will resist you and they'll even run away from you. If they do let you remove them, it'll be temporary and they'll run back and live that lifestyle again. The only way they're going to stop that lifestyle, and sometimes even this won't stop them, is if what happens to them, what happened to one of my friends that I went to high school with, happens to them. She was beat within an inch of her life and left for dead in a trash can, in a dumpster in South Central LA. And that was what it took for her to stop prostituting. Beatings, getting stabbed, getting attacked by her pimps and all that never deterred her. It was until she was within an inch of losing her life that she finally said, you know what, I got to give up on this, right? And that's where the saying comes from, don't save them. They don't want to be saved. And that's what we're dealing with in our community as Black people, beyond just prostitution, but on every level of ignorance that exists in the Black community. It's not that they can't be helped. It's that they don't want your help. They don't want to stop doing what they're doing. They actually love to do whatever it is they're doing, even if it can cost them their life, even if it's having a negative effect on their life. And that's why Anton is saying they cannot be saved. Stop trying to talk to them. Stop trying to reason with them. Stop thinking you're going to be able to convince them. They're either going to have an epiphany. They're going to have a very traumatic experience that sends them in another direction, or they're going to have to go out in a pine box.
I'm no longer trying to convince people. I'm just going to live it. I'm going to be a reflection of it. The people that make themselves available to it, then I'm going to give them the game on how it is that they can capitalize from it. But the reality is that people need to separate themselves from the worst of it. They need to align themselves with people that's going in the direction that they're going in. And that has no color. It has no gender. There are awesome women, but you have to be very, very careful for who you vet for. And they have to be going in the same direction as you. And more importantly, let me just say this last thing. More importantly, everybody has a season. Just because you was a Democrat, just because you were a liberal, just because you were dealing and planning things that didn't necessarily serve you going forward, does not mean that you have to be loyal to the thing that was the worst for you in your past. Similar to coming from the hood. You don't owe the hood nothing. The hood has never done anything for you except for try to take your life, try to put you in jail, and try to put you in the worst position possible. We don't need to fix the culture. We need to throw it away. So there is no cure. There is never going to be a cure. Hell is going to continue to enlarge itself. More people is going to follow Satan right down the path into destruction. We get more
bars before it gets into the super religious stuff. Straight up bars. We don't need to save this culture. This culture needs to be thrown away. And we already got Terrence Haywood. The Republican Party isn't the cure. See, this is our ignorance, right? We ain't talking about nothing political. We're talking about Black culture. Even when you bring up the Republican or Democrat Party, you're making an excuse. Now, when you talk about the Democrat Party, they are not the cause of what's going on in Black culture. They are simply exploiting the degeneracy in Black culture for their benefit. That's not their fault. That's not their fault. They exploit your nature for their benefit. That's like when you send a duck hunting dog out into the swamp to help you hunt ducks. When the dog run out into the water, the ducks see the dog, they get scared. What they do, they all fly up in the air. That allows you to take aim, shoot one, and take it and take it home and cook it. You, as the hunter, are exploiting the nature of a flock of duck. And by exploiting their nature, you are able to kill a few of them off. That's what's going on. So what I'm saying is this. Anton is telling you, stop with you're going to convince them and salvage them and save them and redeem them crap, right? Now listen. So my uncle told me a long time ago, I used to be like y'all. I used to think, oh, I'm a, help people, rescue people. I'm going to convince people. I consider myself a very convincing person. So I used to think I can convince people. So I had some friends, when I stopped gangbanging and stuff, I was trying to talk to them about, like, you need to change your life, man. We need, get out these streets, this type of thing. And one of my uncles, who actually is a gang member, he told me, he said, look, he said, Imagine that you wearing a white suit, and across the street there's a man, he's wearing a suit too, but his suit is filthy. It's covered with dirt and grime and poop and everything nasty. He said, now imagine if you go over across the street and give that man a hug, put your arm around his shoulder and try to talk to him about anything. He said, do you think the cleanliness of your suit is going to rub off on him and make his suit clean? Or do you think the filthiness of his suit is going to rub off on your clean suit and make you dirty? I said, obviously it's the latter. The dirt is going to get on the clean suit. He said, that's exactly the problem with what you're doing. He basically is saying, I would have to do what he had to do. You have to totally separate yourself from these people in order for you to survive, for your children to survive, and for your legacy to move forward. All this, we need to keep doing this, and they need housing, and they need all this stuff. No. They need to hit the bottom. Their feet need to touch the ground, because it's only then that they're going to make the decision. Do I want to continue to live like this, or do I want to pivot, go in a different direction and save my life? You're not going to save anybody in this world, because the way this society has been set up, it's like the algorithm in social media. It's been designed to give you more of what you're looking for, right? If you don't know how the algorithm works, say you're into cars, and for 3 days straight, you look at 10 car videos on YouTube. What is going to be in your timeline on the 4th day if you open up your YouTube homepage and you don't even type nothing in? What's going to be on your timeline? What's going to be on your home feed? It's going to be car videos. The algorithm gives you more of what you've been looking for. Do you know that the algorithm on social media is based on real life? Did you know that? Did you know that even technology is the child of nature? Whatever you look for, you will find more of it. It will come to you. Just like the internet, that is the way life is. So these people are in a state where they're looking for more of whatever negative thing that they're doing, which is impacting their life in a negative way. If you're a prostitute, you're looking for Johns, pimps, and money. Well, if you stand out there long enough, somebody's gonna pull up on you and offer you some money for sex. Some pimp gonna roll up, hey baby, what's your name? Let's go get a bag. It's gonna happen. You don't even got to be in an area where prostitution is a big thing. It will eventually happen if you go out and search for it long enough. We all know that. So what makes you think that you going out trying to convince someone who's looking for a certain thing is going to impress upon them and trying to impress upon them this idea that they need to go in a different direction? What makes you think that that's going to work? And then I have to ask the question, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? Maybe you're looking for redemption. Maybe you're looking for fulfillment. Maybe you're just looking for something to do that can satiate your out of control ego. Cookie lover, law of attraction, right there. But when I look at Black people and I see us defending nonsense, that makes me know that the people who are defending the nonsense that hurts them and hurts their community, they're not really invested in it. They're not really believing what's coming out of their mouth, because what they're looking for does not go in line or line up with what they're claiming to be defending. Well, you want to save poor ghetto children, right? You want to house single mothers, right? Who come from a bad background. Okay, cool. Here's the thing. You want someone else to pay for you to do that. Because if that's what you really wanted to do, you would go bust your ass to make money. With the money you make, you would go open up a shelter or something and then let them live there for free. No. You don't really want to do that. You want to profit from doing that. You want to get someone else to pay you to do that. And maybe you enjoy doing it because maybe you enjoy the feeling it gives you because you get to feel like you did something good. You want to help at-risk youth. You want to get these kids out the gangs. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you wanted to get these kids out the gangs and help at-risk youth in the hood, you would move into the hood. But you living in Beverly Hills adjacent, claiming you trying to save the hood. The only thing you can save is the square that you have established your residence on. Your immediate surroundings. And if you in the hood, you can't even save the hood if you in it. Because even if you start to try to save it, any given day the hood could come and eat you alive. It's a vicious cycle. You know what a cycle is? It's like a circle. It's circular. You're not going anywhere. You're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. That's what this type of thinking does. This is why this type of thinking benefits everyone else, but it doesn't benefit you. And now everyone else is like, look, this shit ain't benefiting us no more. Because the chili is now spilling out the bowl. They used to only rob each other, but now they're going up to Beverly Hills to rob. Now they're going out to Alhambra to rob. Now they're going up to Jewish Town to rob. Now they're going up to Beverly Hills to rob. And we never planned on that. So now we got to do something about it. That's what you're getting to with the black fatigue. They're tired of you. They're not just tired of you, because you might be a black person who really got some sense, but they're tired of you defending the ones who don't got no sense, the ones who act like animals. And they are totally willing to get rid of you, to get rid of them. Oh, you want to defend them? Oh, slavery. Oh, okay. Y'all all going together wherever we sending them. Most recent case, Carmelo Anthony. You got people who work hard every day, who raise their kids not to do shit like Carmelo Anthony did, but they on the internet pretending. Y'all met my friend Maggie. She was up here defending Carmelo Anthony, right? One of her daughters in the military. Her other daughter is like a 4.0 student about to go to college. Those are her two kids. So you're raising your kids to be successful, disciplined, and go to college. You just got engaged to the man of your dreams who just put a big ass rock on your finger. That's good enough for you. But you get your degeneracy rocks off by defending criminals like Carmelo Anthony. Think about that. Think about that. And that's what this has become. It's become a disgusting fetish among black people who are out here working hard and earning and are responsible. Responsible black people have now begun to fetishize degenerate black behavior. And they defend it because it's a source of pleasure and a source of entertainment for them. And that's what Anton didn't say.
Promiscuous, we watching more porn, we making ourselves more available to the devil, we having more partners, we now labeling them as partners. Things are getting worse than it ever has before, and it's speeding up. The timeline by which people are going into destruction is speeding up. So I tell people, find your tribe, divest yourself from the community, focus on continuing to be a reflection of the thing that you want to see, and stop trying to convince people to go the same path as you. Let them have themselves, let them eat themselves, let the women scissor kick with each other, let the men kiss on each other, let them have each other. It's all cool. Just let it die. The community just needs to die altogether.
Virgil, your response to that?
Yeah, no, I mean,
So Anton is 100% right. But where I believe he's 95% right. I don't believe the community needs to die. I believe that the community can be replaced. I don't even believe that the community needs to be replaced. I think a portion of the community needs to be cut like a football team or a basketball team. And new players need to be introduced to the community who are willing to do what the community needs done for the community to not only survive, but for the community to thrive. Now, I want to let Virgil speak real quick. Virgil's going to speak. And while Virgil's speaking, I'm going to look up, because they use the Bible here, right? And I used to be an old backwater preacher too. I'm going to let you listen to what they say and how they try to tie it into the Bible and biblical things. And then I'm going to use the Bible to, in a way, debunk that message and show you how the Bible actually tells you you should handle a situation like this, where there is basically two rival entities, two opposing viewpoints, perspectives, and consciousness, or whatever. But there's two opposing ways of thinking that exist in the same space. And how you're gonna get rid of the negative, how you're gonna get rid of the way of thinking that perpetuates the negative aspect or behaviors within that community, and empower the way of thinking that promotes the positive aspects of that community.
what I think what Anton is explaining is what Romans 1:18 through the end of the chapter actually explains from the outset. You know, we've suppressed the truth of God in unrighteousness, and as a result, God hands them over. I said this earlier in our time together. Hands them over to their own lusts. Hands themselves over to their own worship of self and of culture and of society. They're worshiping the creation rather than the creator. And as a result, they reap the destruction that he's speaking of, and that in and of itself is judgment. That's God's judgment on the culture, and there's no return from that. It ends in the way it ends. And again, for those who have ears to hear, they can hear what we're saying. They can hear what Scripture has to say. And God will transform their heart, and they'll follow the right direction. And that direction is repentance and faith in Jesus Christ. At the end of the day, that's what matters. I appreciate the respect given by both Anton and the brother who left us. I'm not a pastor. While I am theologically educated and trained, I'm not a pastor. At the end of the day, I say that only because it's important that you don't need to be a pastor to walk this path, right? You don't need to be a pastor. You don't need to have some degree or some accolade to open up the Bible, to look at its pages, and to understand that that's the direction you need to go, and that needs to be the standard by which you draw your family. That's how things need to work, and that's what it needs to look like.
Shamika?
If it takes 15 years to demoralize a generation, I don't think I'll see us getting back to where my grandmother and my great grandmother, where they were. I don't think I'll live long enough to see that. What I am grateful of is just my own self-awareness. I agree with Anton that you can't, save a person. They have to come to that own awareness, which is why I'm constantly speaking out against the things that I see, with the hopes that their hearts will be pricked and they will start to begin to do some self-assessment and see themselves as what they really are, opposed to these queens that we've made people, or even the kings, you know, I've seen men call themselves kings that are just as degenerate. So I don't think I'll ever see what I picture in my head.
All right. So basically, Anton says this ain't never gonna happen. Separate. This woman is talking about she ain't never gonna see this, that, or the third. But what I want to show you is also something from the Bible. And I want to tell you, and men especially, women too, and anybody who has anything of value. If you truly value what you have here in America as a Black person, this is what you're gonna have to do. Because let's be real. What's going on in America is spreading all over the place. A lot of these people like think the same around the world. So eventually it's going to become a global thing where there's going to have to be some type of separation where people are going to have to say, you know what? We want to live this way. Y'all want to live that way. And y'all just going to have to go your own way. So this is what I want to show you. So this is from the Bible. This is in Matthew, the 21st chapter. And this is an illustration that was given by Jesus. And it leads to a major point that I think could have been made on Jason Whitlock's channel this morning that should have been made, right? And Anton kind of alludes to this, but I don't think he really drove this point home as well as he could have, right? So first Jesus gives this illustration about the owner of a vineyard, right? And there's workers in the vineyard that have been hired. And if you don't know what a vineyard is, that's where you grow grapes, right? So it says, I'm going to just read this. You guys bear with me. It says, here's another illustration. There was a man, a landowner, who planted a vineyard and put a fence around it and dug a wine press in it and erected a tower. Then he leased it to cultivators and traveled abroad. When the fruit season came around, he sent his slaves to the cultivators to collect his fruit. However, the cultivators took his slaves and they beat one up, another they killed, another they stoned. Again, he sent other slaves, more than the first group, but they did the same to these. Lastly, he sent his son to them, saying, they will respect my son. On seeing the sons, the cultivators said among themselves, there is the heir. Come, let us kill him and get his inheritance. So they took him and threw him out of the vineyard and killed him. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those cultivators? Now, let's pause there. This is what you're dealing with Black leadership. Black leadership has been coming and being killed and destroyed by the Black community in cahoots with other elements for centuries. Whether it's Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, the list goes on and on. Khalid Muhammad. Black leaders have been coming to us for centuries. There were Black people in Africa, Queen Nzinga and them, who came to Black people and were like, hey, the slave trade is wrong. This and that is wrong, right? The king that was represented in the Woman King movie fought to end slavery. What did we do to these people? You can blame the white man. You can say, oh man, the white man, no, he said that. Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara. Keep it going. Nelson Mandela, even. All these people came with a message of empowerment to the Black community. And the vast majority of them were killed by the Black community. It doesn't matter if the FBI was behind it and all this mess. No, you worked with the FBI. And you know why you work with the FBI? Because you wanted him dead too. You wanted him gone so you could take over. Same thing like how Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and all of them did to Martin Luther King. You think they didn't know there was going to be a hit on King? They knew. And they were okay with it because they knew that once he's dead, the FBI, the CIA, and all these government entities, they would then come to them. They would say, well, the spot's open. That's like a player on a basketball team saying, well, I hope the star player don't get injured. Well, you probably don't wish for him to be injured, but if he gets injured, you ready to take his damn spot, right? You get to play. These people were worse than that. They conspired against Malcolm, black folks. They conspired against Martin Luther King, black folks. A OG once told me they know more than you think they know from who you know. And that's what this scripture is talking about. Representatives of black excellence have been coming to you for decades, centuries. People who had a formula, a workable formula for our community to be uplifted, for our community to not just be in survival mode, but to be thriving and prospering. But we killed them. We got them, we colluded with the law enforcement and got them thrown in jail. But the only reason we colluded with law enforcement is because if we went and killed them ourselves, which is what we wanted to do, we would have to take the blame for that. See, black folks live based on the rule of plausible deniability. We'll do some shit, but we need somebody in the room with us so we can deny that it was us. We'll deny that it could be two people in the room, right? Somebody do something. Somebody walk in, who did this? I didn't do it. Well, then you say he must have. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I didn't do it. And he's saying, I didn't do it. Well, you saying that this person did. I'm not saying that. I didn't do it. We just need someone else to be there so that you can have, so that the people looking at the situation can have somebody else to look at so they don't just focus on us. We will do the dirt. We just need somebody in the room with us. So when it comes time to be interrogated, we can say, I didn't do it, and then cast doubt on our own guilt. So this is what we did. I blame black folks for the death of all those people because it is our fault. We wanted them dead. Fred Hampton and everything like that. Yeah, black dudes. Jesus and the Black Messiah type shit. We killing our own. But we work in tandem, in cahoots with white folks, because that gives us someone to blame while we reap the benefits. If you ask Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, who killed King? They say, oh, it was them crackers. Oh, you mean the crackers that you work for now? You mean the crackers who you was begging for donations from? You mean the crackers who paying you to come down and make a scene whenever somebody gets gunned down? So it wasn't you, it was the white folks. But you now work for the white folks and you now get the money that King was getting. So it wasn't you though. It was them, but you now work for them. In occupy the space that King got taken out of. Same thing with the Nation of Islam. Same thing. Y'all wasn't in with the government on killing Malcolm, but now y'all getting millions of dollars a year from the government that killed Malcolm. Right. And it was black dudes who shot Malcolm. Yeah. Okay. This is what they do. So let's get back to this scripture because now we're going to talk about what needs to be done. So what needs to happen? So we'll start here. Therefore, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those cultivators? They said to him, because they are evil, he will bring a terrible destruction on them and will lease the vineyard to other cultivators who will give him the fruits when they become due. So your black community is killing everyone who comes to them, everyone who tries to steer them in the right direction. Doesn't matter who it is, they're going to die. That person's going to get killed, right? By black folks. Jesus said to them, did you ever read in the scriptures, the stone that the builders rejected? This has become the chief cornerstone. This has come from Jehovah and is marvelous. It is marvelous in our eyes. This is why I say to you, the kingdom of God will be taken from you and be given to a nation producing its fruit. Now, let's pretend like the Black community is the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God will be taken from you and be given to a nation producing its fruit. And in the scripture right above it, it says the stone that the builders rejected, right? Well, guys, it's simple what you need to do, what we need to do. We need to take the things of value that we have to offer, and this is to the men and women. Take the things of value that we have to offer, and we need to do like Jesus said is going to happen with the kingdom of God. We need to give it to another people that are willing to produce its fruit. This is literally what we've been preaching to you for years in Pan-Africanism. If your community doesn't want to get right, you need to take your community and bestow the blessings of that community on somebody else. These women don't want to get right. You a good man? Go to Africa. Give all the blessings and protection that you are able to provide to one of them women over there who wants to do what you need her to do. Austin Holland and them have already figured it out. Now, some of those dudes just want to go over there, party, have fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. But do you know before they were there, we were on this internet telling you to do what they're doing? You just have to take what you have of value and stop trying to give it to ignorant niggas who don't want nothing better. That's all you got to do. And that's why Anton Daniel's like, find your tribe and all that stuff. That's basically what he's saying. See, the reason why the degenerate element is still surviving is because we keep feeding the beast. We keep keeping them alive. You know how many prostitutes or drug dealers was on the verge of quitting? And then somebody came and gave them a little bit of kindness, and that kindness empowered them to go back out there and stand on the corner for 10 more hours. Dude, man, my dog training facility is right by the Holstro. Bro, it's women out there, churches. They out there on Sunday. Oh, we bringing the girls food and feminine hygiene products, you know, so they can make sure they're good down there. No, I want the coochie stinking. Because if the coochie stinks, maybe nobody will buy it. Maybe she'll have to get off the corner and go to the doctor. I want them to hit rock bottom. I want the soles of their feet to be black. And I don't want you to let them come in and take a shower either. Because for some of us, it takes for us to have nothing for us to realize maybe we need to take another path. That's what's going on here. All that goodness, all that kindness, all that love and understanding, give it to somebody who deserves it. That is what Jesus is telling you in this scripture. The kingdom of God will be taken from you and be given to a nation producing its fruits. That's all you got to do. Stop feeding the degenerate element of your community, and everything you were feeding to that degenerate element, feed it to the positive side of your community. That's what, see, and this is the problem. The positive side is so attached to the negative element of the community, even when people might want to do something for the positive side of the community. They won't do it because They like, nah, because if I give it to them, they gonna turn around and just give it to the bums, to the degenerates and the hobos. So they just don't give you nothing. Why do you think Dr. Dre gave $70 million to USC? But then when they worked to build on Compton, like when they worked to build up stuff in Compton, they didn't give that shit to them niggas in Compton. They gave that shit to the school district. They said, we giving this to some white folks. We trust them more with our money. Could you imagine a black billionaire, trusting white folks after all that they've done to us? He trusts white folks with his money more than he trusts Negroes. That right there should tell you why our stuff is messed up. And you know, in the scripture where they say the stone that the builders rejected, right? That will become the chief cornerstone. Yeah. What stone are the builders? And then when it says builders, we talking about black folks. What stone, Black America? What stone is Black America rejecting right now? They're rejecting the black immigrant. But it's on us to do what Jesus said do. That stone that they rejected, and black immigrants that they rejected, we need to make those black immigrants the chief cornerstone. We need to build with them. Because you want me to tell you why? They already embody and display the same values that you are wishing existed in your own community. The immigrants, the black immigrants, they're doing every one of the things that we say we want done in our community. They opening businesses. They raising their kids right, keeping their kids close to God, instilling values in them. They're embracing their African culture, still speaking their languages and stuff. They're out here getting their economy up. They're doing everything you say you want your community to be. They are that. They are that. They embody it. But you so worried about saving hoes off the corner and dragging pookies to the hospital after they get shot. You are rejecting the very element that has the potential to save your community. We let this society strip us of our economy, strip us of our values, strip us of our family unit. And now here go the black immigrant. It's like you got a star player, he get injured. You got an equally good player sitting on the bench. Here I am. Oh, Lord, what we gonna do? Chauncey Billups is injured. Oh, Lord. He's injured. What we gonna do? Listen, man, you got Victor Oladipo on the bench. Put him in. He could do everything Chauncey Billups do. Maybe a little better. But you still sitting over here worried about Chauncey Billups. He's injured. He's gone. He's done. This is who you need to put in now so we can win the game. Sometimes you got to sub somebody out and sub somebody in. Sometimes the star player go down and you might do bad for a quarter. Well, dude, that's why you do recruiting. Every other group is recruiting. Black people refuse to recruit. Tariq Nasheed and idiots like that got y'all dummies out here rejecting an element of our society that could save your damn community. You more worried about who chopping, who dick off, who sucking, who butt, all that. Then, dang, man, we need to start linking up with these immigrants. Look at the city of Inglewood. Those black immigrants over there in Inglewood, them Nigerians and stuff, they own a lot of stuff. Millions of dollars in billions of real estate. You see the black dudes over there? They don't even mess with them at all. They don't even deal with them. Why? They just like you. They just like you with an accent. You don't deal with them, but you're getting pushed out of your community by other groups. You're rejecting. The stone the builder rejected will become the chief cornerstone. Go get you some of them Nigerian women to the men. Go get you some of them damn Jamaican women, some of them Kenyan women, some of them Ghanaian women out here in America. Get up in their community, meet people, eat at their restaurants. But see, here's the problem. When you start dealing with them, you got to leave the degenerate shit alone. And that's the part we don't like. That's the part we don't like. We don't like the part where we got to stop playing in the damn mud. Because even the successful Black folks, even the ones who working hard, and I graduated from USC, oh, they like to play in the mud too, baby. They like to play in the mud too. Yeah, oh, I went to UCLA, and I'm still selling pussy on Figueroa every Saturday night. Believe me, it happens. It's happening. I still like to get on the escort websites and sell my ass, even though I went to MIT. It's happening. That's why people like Tariq Nasheed have to convince you to totally reject Black immigrants, because he profits from your ignorance and degeneracy, because that allows him to try to spin everything that happens to you, which is the result of your degeneracy. He can spin that into racism. Now, you didn't get shot by the cops because the cops are racist. You got shot by the cops because your ass was stealing cars and shooting people and breaking in houses. Oh, but that's racism. Now I just made $200,000. So if someone profits from from the negative things you do or the negative things that happen to you, why would they ever, one, want you to stop doing negative things, two, want negative things to stop happening to you? They don't. They don't. D-Fam said, bruh, where was immigrants when Black people were dying here? We have issues, but we overcame by ourselves. Listen, you have issues that you can't overcome anymore. They were over in their country dealing with colonialism and colonization and all that imperialism. D-Fam, you're saying any ignorant thing to run away from the truth. You're like remember in the movie The Matrix when Neo went to the main machine and told him, like, you have a virus named Smith. And at first, the center of the Matrix, the head of the machines, he was arrogant. We don't need your help. And then Neo told him, well, you can't beat Smith. He's too strong for you to beat him alone. And even the machine did the calculation and said, you know what, Neo, we gonna work with you to get rid of Agent Smith. That's Black folks. We ignorant. We know where this is going. Bro, your kids are killing each other in the street over rap lyrics at this point. And you're still your girlfriends, your wives, dogs, prostituting. They're praising prostitute culture. Openly, I sell my ass every day. Your daughters are getting raised around this shit. And instead of seeing the facts and the truth and saying, man, we got to do something. We gonna keep that. Where was they at when we was stubborn? D-Fam, where were you at, nigga? You ain't never been oppressed. Same thing with Daniel Beverly's bitch ass. Y'all ain't never been oppressed by nothing. Y'all trying to use the experience of Black people who died 50, 100 years ago as a justification to hate somebody and not do what you know is necessary. That's it. Where was they at? Y'all niggas ain't gonna miss work on Monday over slavery. But In order to fix your problem, you got to recognize you have a problem. Hold on. But we already know this. We already know that Tariq has stuck a battery in y'all back because it profits him. Nothing that y'all saying benefits you. None of the excuses you're making produce anything. Where was they at? I know where they are now. They're in America. And I know per capita, they're doing better than a lot of us are. So at that point, I don't give a damn where they was. If I produce a kid with you, is it going to come out black? Is it going to come out with the same DNA? Yes. Yes. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that really matters. Is my bloodline going to be fully intact? Yes. But y'all worried about stupid stuff. We're not in Kingston. Daniel Beverly. And even when Kingston had the highest murder rate, you were still running your ass to Jamaica. So the murder rate clearly don't matter that much to you. But we're in America, though, where any immigrant who come here has to conform to American law. So why the hell do I care about what's going on in Kingston or the price of tea in China? That's the difference. Now, what I want to show y'all is one last scripture. And this is really what the Black community is doing in America. We know what we must do, but we are living in cognitive dissonance. I don't know if you guys know what cognitive dissonance is. A lot of people hear the word but don't know the meaning of it, right? Basically, cognitive dissonance is when you're trying to entertain two opposing ideas or thoughts or ways of thinking at the same time. This is very similar to a situation that arose in ancient Israel, where the Israelites had a conflict when it came to what God they wanted to worship. One part of the Israelite community wanted to worship a god called Baal. He was a storm god. He was credited with making sure rain came, which helped crops grow, and therefore people were able to survive. The other god was Yahweh. Yahweh was a god that was, I don't even know what Yahweh was the god of, but he was the god of like everything. He was like all that, right? In a bag of chips. Everything that you have is because of Yahweh type. So the Israelites did what most people do in a polytheistic society. They just worshiped all the gods. But Yahweh was what the Bible calls a jealous God. He didn't want you worshiping no other gods. So he had a prophet, and the prophet's name was Elijah. And the prophet Elijah was like, I'm the only prophet that worship Yahweh. Everybody else being killed. I'm doing bad. Yahweh told him, no. It's a lot of people who worship me. They just hiding right now because they scared of the worshipers of Baal because they think they might kill him. So Yahweh tells Elijah to gather all these people on the top of this mountain. And so Elijah, the lone prophet of Yahweh, he come up to the top of the mountain. He challenges the prophets of Baal to like a magic god showdown. So the prophets of Baal show up and they deep as hell, 400 of them. It's just you. We 400 deep. What you gonna do? So Elijah makes a challenge. He issues a challenge to the prophets of Baal. Long story short story shorter, as my boy Trap Network says, Elijah ends up winning the battle, the magic battle. Yahweh lit the altar on fire and Baal didn't do nothing, right? But after all that's done, right? Or this might be before, but whatever. But during that whole little battle, it's kind of like a rap battle, right? But with God deities. Elijah says something to the people. And this is what I'm pretty much saying to black people. Elijah says, how long will you be limping between two different opinions? Now, this term limping between two different opinions, that basically means how long will you keep trying to go two different directions at the same time? That's what that literally translates to in Hebrew. How long will you continue trying to go in two different directions at the same time? If Jehovah is the true God, Yahweh, follow him. But if Baal is, follow him. And it says here that the people did not say a word. So what I want to ask black folks is the same question. How long will you go on limping upon two opinions? Either we the most gangster, violent, degenerate, low down, no good community in the world, and we just gonna turn our community into the favelas of Brazil, and it's just gonna be, crime land, or we are the smartest, most educated, most capable, most attractive, most athletic, most intelligent, most talented group of people on earth. Which one are we? We can't be both. We can't go in two directions at the same damn time. The black community got things about it that make you so damn proud to be black. It'll bring a tear to your eye. Damn, we did that. Like when Anthony Edwards eliminated LeBron's bitch ass out of the playoffs, bro, I teared up. Damn, black man, do that. Or when you watch the Olympics and the brothers finish 1, 2, and 3 in the 100 and the 200, you just be inspired. George Washington Carver, Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey, you just read the history. Dr. Amos Wilson, you read our history. Malcolm X, right? You read our history, you're just so proud. And then you even look at people in our modern day who are doing amazing things. You're so proud. But then you got to get dragged back down to reality by the niggas. Oh, this dude then shot his op, killed 8 dudes, 85 black dudes killed in one weekend in Chicago. Go on YouTube, videos of us on K2 in the jail, flopping around like wet fish. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. But instead of just totally rejecting the degeneracy and making a mad dash towards excellence, black people want to try to limp between two different opinions. We want to try to go in two different directions at the same time. Yeah, we love living in nice neighborhoods. We want to thrive. We want our kids to get a great education. But if you make me mad, nigga, I'm from 125th and St. Nick, nigga. Nigga, I'm from Mad Swans Bloods, nigga. I grew up on 66 in Crenshaw, nigga. I grew up on the east side of Long Beach. Like, dude, come on, man. Which one is it? Pick a struggle. Either we struggling for greatness and excellence, or we struggling at the bottom. Nigga, you ever heard of Rolling 20s, nigga? Lil Pookie, Ray, Tiny Ant, nigga. We was fucking midgets in the ass, nigga. Remember on 40? You remember a 40-year-old virgin? That's the funniest scene ever. But no, for real though. We got to stop this shit. You got to decide what you want to do. The world is demanding to know, how are we going to look at you niggas for the next 200 years? Because we're coming up on the end of an age. We've already ended the age right now. And for the most part, Black people were defined a certain way because of our ancestors who came out of slavery, hit the ground running, built incredible economies, worked hard as hell to get ahead and establish Black communities, Black economies, Black major league sports organizations, Black theaters, Black everything, Black banks, all that. So basically, everything we've done up until now, it's basically been based on what they built back then. But now we're experiencing a cultural reset. Okay? We're experiencing a cultural reset globally. And everybody is basically establishing how they want to be defined for the next 200 years. Right? This happens throughout history. How are we going to be defined? Oh, watch them. They like to rob motherfuckers. They all they do is degenerate stuff. Oh, you know what? Don't date a Black woman because she's probably selling her pussy on the internet. That's how y'all want to be known. Because if we leave it up to our women, they cool with that. They think they gonna prostitute and find a good rich white man at the same time. That's their mindset. They tell their daughters to go sell pussy. That's who you want to let run your community? And I don't even blame them. Because women do what they're allowed to do and will blame you for the bad decisions that they make when you are not supervising them. Trust me, any married nigga know that. Your wife will do anything you let her do. And when she do it and it blow up in her face, she will blame you. How come you didn't stop me? My man, my man, my man. I don't want to think. You know that video where the girl be like, I don't even want to think about that when my man around. Making my way downtown. They like, their mind is blank when they're with their man. You know those videos on TikTok. Bro, there's a lot of truth to that. The women who are actually thinking and trying to run shit, those are women who are in survival mode. They are in a state of like chaos. Women don't really like that. They don't like to be like responsible for stuff. A women's dad's like, dude, I took care of the kids, man. I made them lunch, picked them up from school. Woo, I'm wore out. When you see women who are having to take the lead in families and go work 8, 12 hours a day and all that stuff, that's a woman operating in pure dysfunction. And then y'all like, well, look at how they're acting. They don't, dude, that's the natural process. They're in dysfunction. So all they can do is drag you into dysfunction if you are in close proximity to them. That's why I don't really blame the women. I don't blame the women because the women are doing what women do when there are no men giving them structure, giving them infrastructure, or a general framework to operate within. Listen, look at Muslim women. Beautiful hair. Their men got them covering their shit up when they go outside. And you know what they do? They agree to it. Why? Why? Because generally speaking, women are agreeable. But when the man abdicates his responsibility, refuses to be a man, refuses to take control and take the lead in this community, well, guess what? Women gonna be running amok. They're just gonna be out here tripping. Because that's what women do. They trip. You ever been in some shit? Like, I'll give you a prime example. You ever been at a place and your girl, for some reason, get into it with somebody, or like somebody say something to your girl, like, okay, like for example, okay, like for example, when I was younger, me and Ryan, we went to T-Mobile. We was at T-Mobile or Sprint. We were something was going on with our cell phones. So we went to Sprint. It was a dude who, like, she was on one aisle, I was on another aisle. So dude walks in. Obviously, he doesn't realize we're together. He walk up and try to get her phone number. Dude, she's like, I think he like grabbed her on her elbow or something. Like, excuse me. She like turns around like, hey, don't fucking touch me, to this dude. I hear that. I've been in the corner. She see me, she get a little bit more hyped up, like, nah, hey, don't fucking put your hands on me. Da-da-da. She's yapping. Dude's like, my bad, love. Like, da-da-da. I'm like, bro, it's cool, man. Bring your ass over here. Let's go. See, she tripping because she know that if that dude try to mess with her, I'm going to beat his ass. But as a man, is it my job to do what a lot of you bitch ass niggas do these days? Your girl start tripping, you go lower yourself down to the level of a bitch and start tripping too. No, I'm a man. I know she's overreacting. And I know she's overreacting because she feels secure and safe, knowing that she got my big buff ass back then with her. So I go beat a man. Nah, bro, you good. Don't trip. Come on, babe. You tripping. Like, get in her ear, and we going about our day. You niggas are such bitches. Y'all would have fucking put through y'all purse down and flipped off y'all fucking sandals and tried to windmill on the nigga. I see it all the time. Go look it up on YouTube. You got a crowd of bitches and a nigga right with them trying to jump on somebody. It'd be a female too. That's the reality. That's the reality. Our men in our society are being led by our women. I'm not faulting the women for that. Because if somebody want to get up under you, I mean, you can't not let them. They're going to do it regardless. But we're in a society where men have abdicated their responsibility, right? And they now are okay with hiding behind their females. But then we'll sit up and try to cry about how the females don't respect them. Well, you lowered yourself down to her level. You made it to where her respecting you is optional. And she's taking the option of not respecting you. That's it. That's it. And now you crying. But if you stand up like a real man and make respect mandatory, out the gate, off the dribble, whatever word y'all using this week, whatever term y'all using for that, your woman says, ooh, he real fine. He real sexy. I like that shit. Talk to any woman, they'll tell you, I love a man who's dominant and takes control. Even the most gangsterous women love a man who takes control. Love a man who leads. They love it. But they reckon, you out? All right, bro. What was that guy talking about? Oh, he wants to see it. Not for real. Okay, cool. Hey, man, bring me some of her food. All right. Man, it looks so fire. All right. But yeah, so like guys, that's what I'm telling y'all. But the thing about women too, when it comes to leadership with men, they recognize if it's real or if it's some bullshit. They recognize if you really this man you projecting yourself to be, or if you just a fraud who's trying to be the leader right now to get in their draws. Trust me, I know, man. Listen, man, look. I could tell y'all some stories. I don't got time today. I'll tell y'all one quick one. Man, my auntie, bro. All the women in my family are masculine, okay? All the women in my family are masculine. Let's just say that. So when they get married, they treat their husbands like children. I'm talking about this nigga sit at the kid table and eat. Type. For real. So my aunt, she married this dude. He was like a gang member too. He was a hood dude. So when I first met him, he was real tough and shit, walk around with his chest poked out. You could tell Kel was on his program, all that shit. Man, my aunt took this straight up hood thug, like I'm talking about marking niggas out, catch fades. She reduced that man to the point where she was cheating on that nigga in his own house with another nigga and making him sleep outside in the front yard. I'm not even joking. This dude was a gangster, but he wasn't a leader. He was a gangster, but he wasn't an alpha. He was a gangster, but he wasn't the man in his own fucking house. I walked in that damn house. I said, Jesus. Listen, man. Listen. I would walk into my auntie house. Walk past this nigga sleeping on his own grass. Walk in the house and get mad at my auntie and be arguing with her because she got this nigga sleeping outside and got another nigga in the house. I'm not even joking with you. I'm not even joking with you. No, he wasn't no homosexual. No, he wasn't no homosexual. No, he wasn't. The nigga, bro, they was married for like 12 years. She was already doing shit, but towards the end, like last 3 years, she just got so cold with it. I'm like, why don't you just leave? Oh, because my kids, man. Are you serious right now? I was just like, dude, listen. But that is the strength of black women. That is the danger of black women who are out of control. Like, y'all, listen. Y'all could say, what qualifies this nigga to speak on this? I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen how bad black women can really get. I've seen it. But I also have seen the circumstances that led to them getting to that point. There's no negotiating with black women. Black women play a zero-sum game. That means you win, you lose, they win. In their mind. That's how the black female mind operate. Either you are or you're not. And if you're not, I'm going to punk your bitch ass and exploit you and use you for what I can get and cheat on you, dog you the fuck out, and discard you when you're no longer of use. 100%. Oh, yeah, Dynas, he got the whole audience over there. That's okay. I don't do this for the money, but y'all should contribute to the stream. Thank you. Thank you, JC. I appreciate it. I'm not even joking. Watch, I'm going to call my auntie right now. My auntie married too. She be treating her husband like that. But bro, a gangster, he don't tolerate that shit. Just two aunties, two different experiences. Like, hello. Hey, Brooke. Brooke. What? You remember when Risa used to make Leroy sleep outside? No, in the front. Remember when he slept in the front yard? Yes, on that bench underneath the grape. Hey, look. Why is your husband so your husband punks you? Why is it that she punked her husband, but you can't punk your husband? Who said that? Me, I'm saying Risa punked her husband, but you can't punk your husband. He be punking you. Richard don't punk me. Shut up. He do punk you. No, you don't. Yes, Daddy. What'd you say? Risa said something to you? No, I was just talking about how Risa used to punk Leroy and just make the nigga sleep outside while she was cheating on him and shit. That nigga was a bitch. He is. Hey, all these niggas are bitches. The only one I saw stand up for herself is Richard. Risa had that nigga losing his job at Burger King just to bring food home for them to eat. Remember she made him get fired from Sears for stealing furniture for her? Yeah. And then
when he lost his job, it won't have nothing to do with me.
Yeah. Bye. Bruh, imagine your wife making you steal from your job so you get fired. And then when you get fired, she call you a broke ass nigga and start fucking your neighbor. Listen, I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all don't want to believe me. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've lived it. All that. Like front row seat. Front row seat. Black women will eat you alive, nigga. They not playing with you. They will eat you. Did you hear my aunt how she just said that? She said, that nigga's a bitch. What woman talk like that? Now, her husband, he not no punk. He be punking her. Like, and look, when he trip, all the men in our family, we ain't defending her from him. Nope, because we know how they are. We know how they are. I got a sister. She beat her baby daddy up. They locked up. She whooped the nigga socks. Boom, 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 boom. She big though, cause he little, he's skinny. She beat this nigga's ass, dog, straight up. I watched it. My grandma walk out, why you do to him like that? I said, damn. I'm telling you, if y'all waiting on black women to willingly submit, you're gonna be waiting for all of eternity, bro. You're gonna be waiting for all of eternity. I kid you not. Now, me on the other hand, I run my shit. If I say this, that, that's the way it's gonna be. But it has to be that way because I watch black women dominate their men. My step grandfather. Woo! Oh my God, that nigga's cooked. Bro was a longshoreman. Bro made bank. This nigga was making like $12,000, $13,000 a month. What? Oh, look. Wait, fuck them kids, bitch. Ain't on my program. I'm on. Oh, yeah, facts. Listen, so I thought the nigga had found the channel. Somebody shared it to him. Anyway, but anyway, this is my step granddaddy, not my granddaddy. He ain't playing that shit. That's the blood I come from. My step grandpa, bro, was a longshoreman. Bro was making like 12 bands a month, like back in the late 90s. Bro was killing it. My grandma, that nigga check went into her account. His check, listen, the nigga was such a bitch. The dudes at his job used to clown his ass, right? So one time something happened with the bank account, the check didn't deposit. So his boss, the nigga named Arnold, he was like, yeah. He told him, he was making fun of him. My grandma went up there. She said, come ride with me. I said, where you going? She said, the check didn't come to the bank account. I think he trying to do something sneaky. I'm going to go to his job and pick up his check. We went into the office of his job. This nigga boss printed that nigga check up and gave it to my grandma. I said, in my mind, I'm like, how you going to just go pick this nigga check up from his job? That dude said, thank you, Miss Nelson. We're gonna let Quentin know. Look, I'm giving names and shit. Let's call the nigga Johnny. We gonna let Johnny know that you came and got his check. He said, don't worry about anything. We know who runs that house. And then they all started giggling. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? But I say all that to say this. Guys, y'all just at the tip of the iceberg. You still could kind of walk the shit back. But if you let black women take over and run you, that's exactly what they're going to do. It's in their nature. So they're not doing anything that's not normal for them. They're doing what's in their nature. You're just capitulating to their nature. You're not operating in your own nature because you said, ooh, if I could have sex with a woman, get her pregnant and make her the man, I could go run out and fuck other women. That's the way the black man's mind was running. for the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s. Ooh, if I let my woman be the man of the house, I could go out and fuck other women and party till I'm 50. I'm being real. We saw a lane and we didn't know where the lane was going to lead, but we took the lane because it was more fun. And that's what the black man has done. The black man, you know, we could say the white man destroyed the nuclear black family. That's not really true. The black man just chose recreation over his family. He chose having fun over his family. He chose snorting coke, popping fucking perks, partying every damn night of the week. He chose that over his family. Because the number one thing with a family is you have to be present. And if you can't be present, then you're not the head of the family. And that's what they did. They said, look, y'all saw that movie, Dead Presidents, when that dude was boning that nigga girl when he went to the army? Presence is everything. If you're not present, you basically don't exist in the mind of a woman. Because she's like, I gotta survive. But I'm telling you, I've witnessed how bad this shit could get. And now my family, we're working on reversing the curse. Me and my brother and shit, we don't tolerate that shit. No, hell no. But the women in my family, we always getting into it. Because we got the same blood. So we all got that like alpha energy. But if I choke their ass to death, they ain't gonna have no energy. So they just, they leave me alone. Hey, look, don't try it. Like, we could be arguing. Me and my auntie, the one I was just talking to, we was arguing this shit. And one of the people who was like working with us, they were like, even though she argues with you, I could tell she has a lot of respect for you. I was like, goddamn right. Because there's no choice. And if I could get these heathens to respect me, I'm your girl. You could get your girl to respect you because they far gone. So it is what it is. But it's gonna take a lot of work on both sides. Do I feel like the community is doomed? No, but I feel like the community needs to be stripped away from people who don't respect the community and appreciate it, and it needs to be given to those who are willing to produce its fruits. If that means we gotta take the mothering and nurturing responsibility away from the black women and give it to black women from another place, let's do it. If that means the black women are gonna have to take the blessing of reproduction and the blessing of the uterus away from black men and give it to black men from another place, let's do it. But we got to stop throwing our pearls to swine, baby. We got to stop throwing our pearls to swine. Matthew chapter 7. And that's the only way there's going to be anything good coming out of this community. And a lot of black men are already doing that. They're having children with women from other places. And a lot of black women are doing that. But, go back to Africa. Reinsert your seed back into the continent where it all started. It's a beautiful thing. I'll give you 10 minutes, Daniel. Hey, we're gonna bring Daniel up. Do me a favor. Help us hit our goal. Help us hit our goal with the super chats, at least. What is she talking about? Okay, Daniel Beverly's in the building. Hey, thank you, Square Game. Hey, guys, I really appreciate if you bless the channel with Super Chat, Cash App, whatever contributions. I also got a goal that I'm trying to meet for my YouTube partnership earnings. help me reach it. I basically gave y'all 2 hours, and I plan on giving y'all 1 hour, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching me. I appreciate that. DB, down bad. What's up, bro? Unmute yourself. These dudes are so smart they can't even unmute their mic. Go ahead, dude.
I'm not muted.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I was never muted.
You were muted.
I didn't unmute myself then.
I unmuted you. I unmuted you.
Okay. So you've been talking a lot about degenerate black culture. That's just must be who you hanging around. Because I don't see it. Everybody I'm around is educated.
Okay, let me tell you how ignorant you are.
I got a master's degree.
Let me tell you how ignorant you are.
You hang around a lot of degenerates.
You just got up here and said, I don't know what you're talking about because I don't see it. You live in PG County, a shithole. There's nothing but crime over there. There's nice neighborhoods. There's educated people, but overwhelmingly PG County is trash, bro. Them dudes is killing each other like they roaches.
Go look at the property
I can go look at the internet. I can go on YouTube. I don't care about your shitty property value. My house is worth more than your house. So let's keep going. Okay, it might not. I'm gonna be real with you. It's probably not, but it's close to $1 million.
So it's not.
Is it worth $1 million? No, but is it close to $1 million? Yeah, because we in California. But this is what I'm telling you. You're lying. You're a liar. That's what I want to tell you. You're a liar. You're a typical. No, listen. You're
I ain't lying
typical.
About anything.
You're a typical.
You just hang around.
Let me finish.
And I hang around college grads.
You are an old black bum. Listen, you are an old black degenerate bum who will literally use your anecdotal experience.
You are literally a cartoon character.
I am. I literally am.
For stalking another grown man.
That's true. Now, listen,
I'll let you. And has more money than you.
And who's homosexual. Listen.
And you're debatable.
And who I saw kissing his lawyer in court on my daughter.
You literally made that shit up.
No, I didn't make that up at all. At all. But listen, I'll let you get your insults off. Let me get my insults off first, though. You are literally an old black bum who knows everything I'm saying is true.
Who has more money than you.
But you have more money than me. I'll give you that. Who will sit up and, like I just said, protect and lie about degenerate elements within your community just for the sake of feeling good. You are willing to lose everything just so you can stay in your self-made matrix of the Negrotopia that you live in your
mind. I'm not
PG County. PG County is a shithole.
Around degenerates.
No, but we're not saying that. But we're not making a show about.
You can say the same thing about. You can say the same thing about. If you ever been to Middle America, that's the most degenerate white welfare.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
In Middle America,
go look up who receives the most. Go look up who receives the most welfare.
This ain't about welfare. White people receive the most welfare, but I can go to any degenerate white community
and get meth.
That's fine. But they're not murdering each other.
Yes, they do.
Okay, name me the
drug.
Okay, wait a minute. Name me the white community. Name me the white.
They're big enough.
No, let me ask you a question.
These foreign communities that got the highest murder rates in the world.
Let me ask you a question. See, this is what they always got to do: deflect. Name for me the white community where 85 deaths have taken place in one weekend. Damn, I hear the birds chirping.
Because you're just literally making shit
Name for me the white community where 85 people have been shot in one weekend.
These white communities, for one, like you want to talk about, you're probably going to bring up Chicago. That's
You're stuttering now.
That's y'all.
Let's go.
Stuttering. That's y'all one. You want to bring up Chicago, but Chicago ain't really a all black city.
Name for me one community. One group of whites.
Puerto Rico.
No. Puerto Rico's a part of America, and 85 people don't get shot in one day in Puerto Rico.
Yes, they do. Puerto Rico has one of the highest murder rates in the world.
Murder rate. But show me a report where 85 people got shot or killed in one weekend in Puerto Rico. You won't find it.
What is your point?
So what I'm
You're
saying,
talking about a
listen,
specific weekend.
let me make my point. Let me make my
Look at the
point.
murder. Look at
Let
the
me make-
overall murder
Let me
rate.
make my point.
You don't have a point. You just
Listen.
kiss white ass.
We can talk about white people. We could talk about Mexicans. We could talk about Asians. Black people are the only group displaying this level of violence and degeneracy on a consistent basis inside of America. You will not find any other community where 85 people get shot in one weekend. You won't.
False.
Okay, can you tell me where?
You're talking about one specific weekend.
I'm talking about
it
in
wasn't-
America.
It wasn't
In
biker
America.
gangs. It
In
wasn't
America.
So it wasn't white biker gangs
Tell me
killing
where?
each other. You didn't see
Where?
the white biker gangs in New Mexico that was killing each other.
Show me where 85
Dude,
white bikers
You keep
got
talking
shot
about
in
one.
a
You keep
weekend.
talking about that 85. You're talking about one particular incident. That's all you got.
That
I
no,
can
that
show
was
you-
happening.
I
That was
guarantee-
happening
I
on a
can show
weekly
you that.
basis
I
in
can
Chicago.
show you that the poorest counties
Listen,
in America
you
are white.
You keep trying to
Kentucky,
equate violence
West
to
Virginia.
poor.
Go to
You keep-
Kentucky, West Virginia, and,
All right.
and see if you don't see
What you-
degeneracy.
What you keep doing is trying to
New
equate.
Mexico gets the
what
most
you-
welfare.
What you keep doing is trying to
It's
equate
hitting you
being.
with facts, is what I
Can
keep
you
doing.
let me? Can you let me speak? What you're doing is trying to equate being poor to being violent. But there are many people who are poor that are
You
peaceful.
said degenerate.
There are
Degenerate is a whole lot of
degenerate
different things.
there are degenerate white people in America. Now
You
show
work-
me.
Yeah, you work for one.
Now show me any white community where
You're going to keep saying
85
that same 185 thing?
because you keep trying to make a
For
false
one weekend?
equivalency. Show
It's
me.
not a false
You said
equivalency.
this is black people. Black people say this.
You're
White
speaking
people-
on. You're
Let me
speaking on
finish.
one
Let
weekend
me finish. This
in
is
a
black
history.
people. This is black people. White people are the most violent. They receive the most welfare. This, that, the third.
It's
Okay,
the facts.
let's just talk about the violence. That's the biggest problem. Violence.
You're just going to talk about the one aspect that
Black
you want to talk
people
about.
by far are the
You said
most
degeneracy.
violent
Degeneracy can
group
be
in
everything.
America.
Prostitution,
Okay, let's talk about
porn,
let's
like
talk
you go
about
to every day.
okay. White people got black people beat on selling ass on prostitution by far. But what I'm gonna tell you this: violence is the one that affects us. If someone does drugs, that primarily affects them. If someone sells their ass, let me
A lot of the
finish. Let me
murders are over
finish.
drugs.
Let me finish, bro. If someone sells their ass, that primarily affects them. Does drugs primarily affects them. That's fine. Violence. Black people are overwhelmingly more violent than any other group in America, especially when it comes to preying on their own. Name me the white community
You
where
gonna say same shit.
85 people got shot in one weekend. I'm
Okay,
waiting.
name me the other black community where 85 people got shot in one week.
Memphis.
You go to name. You keep talking about that one
Memphis.
specific incident.
Memphis.
Now,
St.
the drugs-
Louis.
Now
Saint-
our murders.
No,
Hold up.
I'm naming
Hold
them
up.
for you.
Hold
You
up.
asked
Our
me to do
murders,
something.
You just made that up. But
I'm
our
naming
murders-
them for you.
You
Memphis,
just made that up.
Let me finish. Memphis, St. Louis, Jackson, Mississippi, Chicago,
85 people got
Illinois.
shot.
Let me
85
finish.
people got shot in one
Atlanta,
weekend in all those places.
Atlanta, Georgia. All I got to do is name off the black Detroit, Michigan.
That's all you did. You just totally made that up. You just named black cities.
Indianapolis, Indiana. All I got to do is name where the black people live.
So
and the
our
crime rate
murders-
is exponentially higher.
So are murders connected to the drug trade?
Sure they are.
Okay, so you're gonna try to tell me that white people are just selling drugs all over middle America and nobody's getting killed, or
Well,
is
where's the
nobody
report?
reporting it?
Where's the reports? Oh, so now
Exactly. Who's
they're not, so now
reporting
they're
this
not
stuff?
reporting. No, you're
What,
arguing.
what's your source?
You came up here to
You
get.
said something else that was
there.
dumb too. I wanted to check you on.
No, I want
You
to say.
talking about? You were
Listen,
talking about the FBI.
I want to say, hey Rob, come back up so I can let you talk. Hey,
hold
I
up.
wanna
You said
say
something else that was
right
dumb.
here. No. Can we acknowledge? Because look, I'll give you something if you give me something. Can you acknowledge that per capita, black people are committing the most violent crime in America?
Repeat that.
Can we acknowledge that per capita, black people are committing the most violent crime in America?
No,
Well, then you just are
'Cause it's
arguing against facts.
it's a higher concentration, maybe a higher percentage.
That's per capita. That's what per capita means.
But you're talking about certain cities, just certain small cities.
Bruh, it's
If you look
all over America.
if you look all over America, it's more crime being committed. And also you got to look at too, just because they're also looking and reporting certain people more than others, if you know what I'm saying. You said something else I wanted to check you on that was goofy. You said that it's blacks killing black leaders. Hello? Hello?
Sorry, I got a phone call. Rob, go ahead.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for having me up. I'm not going to take too long. I
You're
know on
welcome.
this
You're welcome.
channel we like extreme accountability, and I promise you, I'm not trying to pass the buck at all. But I want to know how you feel about feeding the beast, and how you think how there may be elements of white society that are feeding the beast with much more food than the black people are feeding it, because I think the liberals are doing a much better job at feeding the beast than we are.
100%. 100%. And what I say about this, the liberals actually benefit from that though. They get voted in, right? They can get on stage and say any crazy outlandish thing and get elected. They benefit from it. We don't benefit from it. That's the point I'm making. Like,
Right.
the Democrat Party benefits from black degeneracy and enabling it. How does the black community benefit from enabling black degeneracy? You're literally defending a nigga that's gonna rob you in two weeks. You defend the gang member steal your radio out your car. You defend the gang member get your daughter pregnant and start abusing her. You defend the thug in your community, he shoot up the neighborhood and kill your kid by accident. See, we don't benefit from it. That's how you know it's pure dysfunction. What the white man is doing, what the liberal is doing is exploitation. So for their benefit. What we're doing is straight up dysfunction. There ain't no rational explanation for it.
And what I'm saying is all this dysfunction you're talking about, water seeks its levels. So you around a lot of dysfunction.
No. I'm not around any dysfunction.
Check yourself. Because
I'm not around any
that.
dysfunction. Well, no,
I don't live in no poor neighborhood.
No, what I'm around is black people on drugs, lined up in tents on the side of the highway.
I'm not.
I know you're not, but we're not just talking about just you. This is a community discussion.
But what I'm saying is, I've been all around the country, and I see more of that in Middle America.
No,
I see more people living on disability. They don't even work.
Listen, that's fine, but are they hurting people?
Virginia.
Are they hurting people?
Yeah, I'm sure they hurting people.
No, people don't
just peacefully sell meth.
Bro, listen, you said white people on disability.
Yeah, they're not hurting disability.
People. Even a meth dealer is somebody, they gotta go to him to get what they want. I'm talking about a young black man, 16 years old with a gun, trying to drag you out your damn Tesla in the middle of broad daylight. Yes.
Have you seen Breaking Bad?
Yes.
That's what that's about.
That's fine. There was violence. But Breaking Bad was violence that was happening in one community.
Was there black people in it?
No, there wasn't black people in Breaking Bad.
Okay. So
but take Breaking Bad and times it by 1,000, and then you have the black community.
No, and I just think it's an exaggeration.
Go ahead, Rob. Promote that. Go ahead, Rob.
So, Brandon, would you say that this collectivism mindset that we have in the black community could possibly be harmful, and that we should take a more individualistic approach to how we function in society?
Say that one more time.
Because like, can you see why perhaps this collectivism mindset that we have in the black community could actually be harmful? Because if Anton Daniels is suggesting that we break away and create our own tribes, that's more like an individualistic mindset, and we need to sort of stop with the collectivism bullshit and just sort of abandon the word community altogether amongst the blacks. What do you think about that?
No, see, the thing is, we're not dealing with true collectivism. We're dealing with radical individualism, where niggas only act like they're in community with you so they could prey on you, right? You know, there are animals in the wild that are able to go amongst their prey, right? They pretend to be their prey. And then there's fish that are marked just like the prey that they hunt. They'll get in groups with that prey and then they'll just snag one and take it. That's the way black people are operating.
It's something you said I wanted to address, Brandon.
Okay, I got you in a second. But what I'm saying is, if you talk to the average black person, they'll talk like community rah-rah shit, but ultimately it all boils down to their own individual desires. So that ain't no communalism. That's fake communalism. Because once the civil rights era hit, black people no longer needed each other. Once welfare and all that, welfare broke up the community. Because back in the day, we used to have like rent parties and shit like that. We needed each other to survive. But once the government started subsidizing degeneracy, well, the degenerate don't need you to survive. Look, prime example, my sisters. My sisters, if I tell them something, they won't do it. The only time they'll do something I tell them is when they're broke and they're like, I need you to pay my phone bill, whatever. Once that, from the 1st to the 15th is fuck you, nigga. 15th to the 30th, they're the best sisters on earth. Why is that? Because when they got money, they feeling like when they get money, they feel empowered. So they feel like they don't need nobody for nothing. Once the money is gone, right? Now they want to retreat back into the community. Brother, this and that. Can you help me get gas? This type of shit. So Negroes are literally just playing this like sometimes we want to be in a community. But then when we look at the black celebrities. When they want you to buy their garbage ass music, it's all about community and coming together to take care of each other. Once they reach the level of like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and fuck y'all. I'm trying to cross over to a larger pool of fans. That's what this is about. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, earlier you said that we always kill our black leaders and the FBI. So what if the FBI was behind it? When the FBI comes to you with that conversation, you think they asking you or they telling you? You think you're gonna say when you say no? How do you think that's going? You think you're just gonna go back to your regular programming?
I wouldn't be able to answer that. Maybe you need to ask Tariq.
You think if the FBI come to you about an assassination, you just gonna walk away from that conversation saying no?
So let me tell you this. Let me. Okay, I got you. Now let me show you how stupid you are. Your leader, Tariq Nasheed.
I don't have a leader. That's how stupid you are. That's finish, your man crush.
Let me finish talking. Your leader, Tariq Nasheed,
your boyfriend,
consistently, my boyfriend, consistently gets visits from the FBI. He even has recorded them on his Ring doorbell and put them on his channel and talked about them.
That's so you and his Ring doorbell.
And you still are dumb enough to believe that this dude is working for you, working on your behalf.
First of all, how did you make that? I'm talking about history of our leaders, and you bring up Tariq.
Tariq's your leader.
No, that's your crush. You stalked Tariq. I don't know none of this.
Do you believe
You're
Tariq?
Talking about
okay, let me ask you a question.
Tariq's
do you believe? Let me ask you a question.
How many times you been in his house?
Let me finish. Do you believe Tariq is a force for good in the black community?
I look at Tariq as entertainment.
Do you believe Tariq is a force for good in the black community?
He's cool. Yeah, I don't.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you agree with the shit he's doing?
I don't have no problem with Tariq.
Okay. Tariq gets visited frequently by the FBI. So if your logic is true, and they're not asking you, they're telling you, do you honestly believe the FBI is showing up to his house to tell him to keep doing good for the black community? Or do you think they're showing up telling him, hey, you better be freaking a force of division in the black community?
First of all, I don't know how many times the FBI has come to Tariq's house because I'm not stalking him like that.
It's been a bunch.
How do you even know that?
He puts it on his channel.
You follow him. See, you're more into projecting your feelings towards Tariq.
All right, Daniel, I gotta go. I gotta go. Make your final thought. You got 1 minute, and then I'm out of here.
Okay. 1, stop obsessing about Tariq like a bitter baby mama. It's really it's pathetic. 2, stop trying to go to Myron Gaines Whitlock route. It's not going to work. Okay. We have enough coons. We don't need a new coon slot to open up for us.
Right. I like Jason
Right?
Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock is a pathetic, fat, butter biscuit eating coon who's been chasing white women around for his whole career. Now, these foreigners, you bigging up. Let's address the mud huts and dirt floors first. Okay? You can't come around here with your chest poked out and you live at your grandmother's back home in a mud hut. Okay? So they need to get that shit together.
You kind of sound like Tariq. You kind of sound like Tariq, bro.
I sound like a nigga that makes sense. And Tariq probably makes some good sense too.
You low-key sound like Tariq using a voice changer.
No, okay. Anyway, you know all about Tariq. I don't. I ain't been to court for
put a 1 in the comments if this fool sound like Tariq. You got the same cadence as Tariq.
You sound like, no, I don't. You sound like Jason Whitlock with a high-pitched voice.
I respect Jason Whitlock.
Yes, you would. He's a coon. Jason Whitlock sit there and criticize
just like your granddaddy.
My grandfather was a rider. He wasn't a coon like that.
Sure he was.
You know what I'm saying? So I come from a city, Chocolate City. And I don't know about all this cooning and stuff that you be doing. You know what I'm saying? We get money together as black people. So from Philly to Atlanta, you got a lot of black people that's getting money. Get with those people and stop hating.
Philly to Atlanta. Philly is like a zombie land. Niggas is fucked up in Philly.
Your sister's broke. Mine's not.
That's okay.
My sister lives in Silicon Valley.
That's okay.
You see the difference?
That's okay.
So stop hanging around broke people. Get with the black people that's getting money. Tariq getting money, y'all hating. He lives around black people. Chris Brown.
Tariq does not live around black people.
Chris Brown, Exhibit. He just lives around black people.
Does not live around black people.
He lives around black people that got money.
You sound stupid. Tariq doesn't even live in an affluent neighborhood for black people. Tariq doesn't even live in an affluent neighborhood for white people. Those are like upper middle class people in that neighborhood.
You can't afford his house. I've seen Tariq's house. It's nice.
Bruh, Tariq, that house is affordable. You could I afford that house? I probably wouldn't be willing to pay what it costs. But if I wanted to like break my neck,
either way, get with the black people that are networking and getting money. You could call me offline or something, and I can show you how to get some money so you can stop hating.
Nigga, I will never call you.
Okay.
You sound gay like the rest of them dudes in PG County.
Dude,
like you was raised by a single mother.
I know you're not. No, see, that's what the difference. I was raised with a strong black father.
He doesn't like you.
That's why my voice is not high like yours.
No. You sound fruity.
No, your nuts haven't dropped yet. That's the problem.
Nuts. When they drop, I'll send you a letter.
You sound real feminine. I'm just being real.
Hey, listen. All you gotta do is
you got a wife. If you got a wife, she's probably a beard.
All you gotta do is go to PG County, and that will quickly debunk all this shit this dude is saying. PG County look like a third world
way more money
house.
than your neighborhood.
PG, that's not true.
It looks way better than Makoko.
That's definitely not true. But look,
it looks way better than Kingston.
Listen, this guy way better. See, that's what I'm telling y'all. He's comparing his neighborhood to some third world country.
Because a third world motherfucker try to give me advice.
PG County looks fucked up.
Why would I take advice from a third world motherfucker with a dirt floor? You see how crazy that is? That's like taking advice on getting women from you. Ridiculous, right?
Listen, PG County is one of the
has a higher income than you.
No way.
Higher average income than where you live. You getting run by Mexicans and stuff.
I live in California.
You're getting run around by Mexicans and stuff, don't you?
No.
Mexicans run and push y'all out. You live out Stockton or something. Y'all don't run LA.
You don't run PG.
Lots of shit. So I ain't do this in so motherfucking long, but we're gonna do it just like this. We're gonna keep the party going. We right here, the legendary man, Sulim. I think it was a Sulim Manor, man, Homer Avenue, man, where it once
Yeah,
was.
I know about Homer Avenue.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they doing. I think they about to build some condos or something like that, man. But you know, one of the radio show people, man, was on 93.9, like what, less than a year ago, saying that they're actually building up Suitland, and this is going to be one of the main attraction places and so forth. That they're going to be building property, you know, townhouses, and they're gonna try to build some townhouses. You know what I'm saying?
Now go to Upper Marlboro. Go to Tantalia, Fort Washington.
This looks terrible.
You're gonna pick.
No, you talk about PG County.
Go anywhere, and it still costs more than your neighborhood.
This place looks like crap.
Dude, go to Upper Marlboro. Look at some of them houses.
What is this? What is this? This is what he's bragging about. This is what this.
You're
this
talking
is what
about,
bro.
You're
this
talking
is what
about the part of
about.
PG County that's right on the DC line.
You listen. You chose
PG
to
County
say
is
all
big
of
as
PG.
shit.
You talked about all of PG County, and I'm showing you what
PG
this shit
County
looks
big as
like.
shit. And those apartments you still couldn't afford. I don't know what you're trying to prove.
I'm just proving that you're lying.
What am I lying about? Dude, you are a moron. You showing one neighborhood, and you trying to say that
You
that
said
represents
PG County was
anybody
all
that got,
this.
Anybody got any type of intelligence know that all you got to do
This place
is go
looks like shit.
and Google real estate prices.
That's what I did. I forget the prices. Let's see how it looks. Looks like crap.
That look like a regular apartment complex. This still look better than your hood.
No, don't know apartment complex look like that.
That shit still look better than your hood.
No, it doesn't.
That is luxury for Kingston.
I don't live in Kingston.
The people that you be on nuts do, and that's where they from.
Man,
how come they haven't built that shit up? Why do they get a pass to come over and talk shit with their homeland looking like that? I actually don't know what you're trying to prove. This don't even look bad.
Now we'll go look at an African. We'll look at an African place.
Yeah, pull up Makoko.
This is Nairobi, Kenya.
You a goofball, dude. You gonna go pull up the nicest part of the city.
Kenya.
Go pull up Makoko.
This is an aerial view of
the
Nairobi.
Largest slum in the world.
This is Nairobi, Kenya. This looks way better than the shithole you live in. What are you talking about?
Dude, you didn't.
This is Nairobi, Kenya. This is Africa. This is Africa. This is Africa.
This is you being.
This is Africa.
This is
you can't even do it
intellectually dishonest. Pull up Makoko, nigga.
Man, listen. This is
and see their grandmamas floating on trash.
This is Nairobi.
You pick one. Africa, a big ass continent. You pick one city.
We talked about your one city.
You pick one city, and you know what else? You know what else?
What?
Those apartments still cost more. Those apartments in PG County still cost more than that shit in Nairobi.
This look way better than that shit you was doing. I just
saw over there with I can still go over there with American Dollar and buy that
guys,
shit.
Listen, guys. So what we proved is this guy's an idiot.
What we proved is you're a liar.
No, I'm telling the truth. Dude, we're looking at Nairobi.
One video. You pick
one video.
I
compare one African city to your one city.
That wasn't a city, dipshit. You picked one fucking neighborhood. That wasn't a city.
Listen, I compare one city in PG County to Nairobi, and Nairobi is killing y'all dusty shit.
Nairobi is killing. Is it killing DC?
Man, DC is a shithole.
Oh my God! You can't afford to stay. You can't afford to stay in DC.
Listen, this is what I like.
You can't afford.
This is where I go. This is where I own my property. This is where my apartment is. This is where my land is. This is what
your apartment. You got an apartment.
This is what I fuck with. Yes, sir.
You live in an apartment.
I got an apartment in Nairobi.
Oh my God! No, you got an apartment here. You live in an apartment right now. You got an apartment in Stockton.
Stockton.
The Mexicans that pushed y'all out the city.
Listen, man. All I know, I see
You
this
sitting there
white
on the
guy.
outskirts
I see
talking shit about
just
black Americans that get money.
listen. If y'all never watch this channel, Nairobi,
get you some
Kenya is
money.
1,000 times better than Compton, PG County, Atlanta, any of that bullshit. It's nicer. It's
It's
cleaner.
so nice that they're gonna run over
It's
here
better.
as soon as they get a chance, they running over here.
Let them do that, and I'm gonna run over there. Anyway, hey Daniel, it was great to have you. I gotta go. I gotta go
All
to
right,
No
keep
Jump and
cooning.
get used by Adam. I'm gonna keep cooning for sure. Thank you, my brother, for hopping up here. Appreciate it. Listen, I'm just telling y'all that like Daniel, I like Daniel because Daniel is a very accurate representation of Black America. What like these type of people are the ones who keep trying to get you hyped on bullshit. Like they so excited, and you're just like, you're excited about they lie. That's one thing Black people do well. Black people are good salesmen. A Black person could sell you some straight bullshit and have you really thinking you got something. That's what he trying to do. Oh, look at all this we got. Bro, PG County, bro. 4 chicken wings with mambo sauce. Niggas ducking. Bro, man, listen. These dudes is over there killing each other like roaches in PG County. So, I don't even know who want to live there. But this just proves my conversation with him literally just proved everything I was saying. Everything I was saying. Black America has to decide what they want to be. He wants to say, oh, it's just who you around. He's already making the separation. But he's trying to convince you, no. Let's keep dragging these degenerates. No, because he knows I can separate again. I'm away from the degeneracy. So I could keep promoting it and making excuses for it. Don't do what he says, do what he does, what he's doing. Because he's living in straight denial. Yeah, go to Kenya's art for sure. Hey, guys, let me get the people who contributed. Shout out to my girl, Cookie Lover. Bro, way too defensive and insular. Facts. Shout out. Okay. Shout out to Square Game. No matter what you have built with that woman, if she doesn't respect you, you have to be willing to leave. 100%. 100%. Respect is the first thing. Don't come on at the same time as Dynas. Less money. JC, thank you, my brother. Facts. You're right. You're right about that. Rob, Big Roberto. White liberal need to stop feeding our beasts too. 100%. I like that point Rob made. See, Rob is a deep thinker, and I like deep thinkers. Daniel is a surface level dishonest charlatan. But all right, guys, that's all the super chats. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate everybody who contributed, everybody who watched the channel. Please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Damn. Did anybody else contribute that I'm missing? Okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss nobody. Hillsborough. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay. Shout out to All Gas, No Brakes. Why don't these FBA people ever criticize Latinos? They're replacing blacks, not Africans. Talk about Caracas or Tijuana instead of hating black people. No, 100%, man. They are just they're punching down. See, that's what these FBA types do. They can only prey on people weaker than them. So right now, African immigrants don't have big numbers. They're about 3 or 4 million in the whole United States. They punched out on them. The Latinos, they can't. Latinos could damn near wipe black people off the internet if they wanted to. The amount of pool they got, the numbers they have, they can really fuck us up on the internet. So that's what they're doing. They're scared of the Latino. They're scared of any group that's mobilized because they know that they don't want to mobilize. They want to throw insults and then play victim. That's their job. They want to throw insults and play victim. Young's Stop complaining. I'm not complaining about anything. I'm just telling you what it is and what it ain't. But that's what we stop complaining because bro want to rob you. This guy probably robbing people, carjacking people, talking about somebody complaining. Yeah. Stop complaining. And I'm telling you, these people have a predatory view of other blacks. You getting carjacked, people breaking in your house, stealing your shit. But if you tell, you a snitch. Stop complaining so I could train my kids to prey on you in 10 years. Get the fuck out of here with that crap. Hey, I'm going to holler at y'all. Till the next time, take care of yourselves. But most importantly, please take care of each other. Peace.